Hi, Natalie. Hello, listeners. So, this is our annual Christmas episode. And if you've listened in the past, we both have maybe a less common relationship with Christmas. We don't go all out into Christmas shopping, Christmas decorating, Christmas mood, Christmas vibe, Christmas foods. We have very different backgrounds and upbringings, and we have talked in the past about some of our unique Christmas traditions. So, given this context, I think right now we just want to give you a little bit of a Christmas reality check to if you need to get a permission to cool down and chill the beans and not feel the pressure that it seems to be everywhere, that Christmas has to be this incredibly positive and intense and friendly and family and expensive time of the year. And we want to bring a little bit more of a sanity check and reality. And Christmas still can be wonderful, but without going all out on really building the Christmas vibe. So, Natalie, I wanted to ask you, when we're talking about the Christmas realities, how does it feel on your end now back in South Africa, getting ready for, for the first time in very many, many years to have South African Christmas?
It's weird. It's weird. It's obviously I grew up in South Africa, so I'm used to summertime being Christmas. And then I've had 25 Christmases of it being winter, and now it's back in summer. And it is very, very different. So I'll give you a little bit of perspective. Is in the UK, pretty much from October, Christmas trees go up, Christmas lights go up, people are watching Christmas movies. It's very much about Christmas because it's getting dark there. It's cold, it's damp, it's wet. So you see Christmas decorations everywhere. You walk down the street, you can see it in people's houses. They decorate the front of their house. And it's really beautiful and festive, and you start to feel Christmassy. And of course, then the radio start playing Christmas music, the shops play Christmas music. We are now about a week away from Christmas, and there's nothing. There's nothing here. I have seen maybe the odd little decoration, but there's you don't get that build up to Christmas. And my husband and I have been back in South Africa since the beginning of November, and there hasn't been that build up. So we left people already. We could see it already when we left the UK to nothing. They do have in the mall, they have a what they call the Christmas grotto, but that only I think is coming out this weekend. So the thing is it's very short window of Christmas. The one thing they do have is since the beginning of December, the shops have been playing Christmas music. It's really weird to hear Christmas music, but no sign of Christmas. Down one little aisle, you might find a little Christmas crackers or a few little decorations, but that's it. There's not this full blown out of Christmas. So that's been the almost the physical, the seeing of the build up to Christmas. It's been really weird because my husband would say to me, "Is it really Christmas coming? It's hot, it's sunny, there's no Christmas vibe anywhere." So that's been a big difference, from England to South Africa. Have you noticed anything in the Czech Republic on seeing how Christmas is portrayed, through the eyes?
We'll just quickly go back to the tropical Christmas because a couple of years back we went to Mauritius for the Christmas season, and it was my first time experiencing like tropical Christmas, where you don't have because Czech Republic snow, cold. I have very much my whole life had this traditional white Christmas with tons of snow, very traditional, cold kind of North European types of Christmas. So it was interesting to be in Mauritius and see the odd palm tree decorated here and there. And even though Mauritius is a very Christian, very Catholic kind of, it's a very mixed island, but there will be a very strong Christian community. So Christmas technically is a big deal. But for them, at least from the families I've seen, it's very much driven by the religion. So there's lots of masses that you go to church, you watch all sorts of Advent, concerts on the TV, and you pray. but it's not in the decorations, it's not in the how it shows up in public. And for me, definitely being back in Czech Republic for Christmas is realizing how obsessed UK and possibly America and some parts of the world are with Christmas compared to, I would say us Central Europeans. We're a bit more cool. Like we love our Christmas markets, we love our mulled wine, we love our, festive activities. There's definitely a lot more drunk people on the streets these days with all the Christmas parties, but we don't have the tree comes up at like early November. Like in my family, we would always be putting Christmas tree up the day before Christmas Day. So we're talking 22nd, 23rd of December. Czech families now will push a little bit and maybe, early December, they will be putting the Christmas tree up. But in the UK, like it begins November. It's not even have been sometimes Halloween and Thanksgiving and other festivities, and you are all in on Christmas decorations. But at the same time, it's interesting to observe the cultural differences that we will carry on the Christmas into the new year and into January. So we will then keep the Christmas tree at least until like 6th of January, because 6th of January, the Three Kings, it's another important date. And that's often for us then the end of Advent, the end of the Christmas season, even though we have a new year, where in the UK, usually it's 25th, 26th of December, and the Christmas tree is back, and we're done, and Christmas is over. And I'm like, this is the best Christmas season, like between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve. That's for me, this week is Christmas. Where from what I've experienced in the UK, that's where like you're done with Christmas. Christmas has been there, done that, did the gifts, did the family stuff, did the Boxing Day. Christmas tree is going down, and we're done with Christmas.
Yes, the 12 days of Christmas between Christmas and, yeah, as you said, the 6th of January, that's very much something I was brought up with, but that's purely because my mother is Swiss. So, of course, it's the European tradition, and we grew up putting the tree up on the 24th, and then the tree comes down on the 6th, and it's very much all about the holy nights, and it's very spiritual. So, my mother is a very Christian. She's not church going or anything, but she really takes Christmas very, very seriously. And it's something that has to be, as she says, inward, and it's a very serious time, and you've got to almost be on your best behavior, and it's very stressful. So I get where you say the 12 from Christmas to the 6th of January, that is something that is familiar to me. But like you said, in the UK, pretty much from Halloween, Christmas trees go up, 26th of December, that's it, they're gone, finished, it's done. So it's almost backward or opposites. So it's really interesting how these different cultures have different ways of doing things. But now you spending time at home for Christmas. You're not in your beautiful van, off traveling. How's that looking for you?
There was a little bit of resistance to it because of the all the perceived pressures. So Christmas definitely comes with a lot of pressures, and you can see it everywhere around you. Lots of people talk about, the coming to Christmas with fatigue, juggling the to-do list, all the Christmas cleaning, all the Christmas shopping, all the Christmas cooking. And so for a very long time, I did have similar in a way to you, this kind of Christmas has to be special, that you have to be on your best behavior, this kind of media built-in image of Christmas has to be something special, and I didn't want it to deal with that. Plus, obviously, I want to be on the road. But due circumstances, I'm still in Czech Republic. I'm still dealing with some van maintenance and planning and bits and bobs. And it is coming very close to Christmas. And I started thinking that it's pretty rude to be to my mom at like 20th of December to be like, hey, bye, I'm leaving now. So I've at first begrudgingly made a decision to stay for Christmas. Now I'm like, honestly, it's not gonna be bad because it's just me and my mom, and we really don't care about Christmas. So we are maybe having a tiny little Christmas tree with two cats. It's kind of a hazard not to actually have a Christmas tree. So, and we don't do the traditional unwrapping gift. So, I want to buy mom something that she can use. I buy it to her. I give it to her. I'm like, this is your Christmas present. I bought it to her mid-November. And that's it. So we're gonna make a nice meal. Where for us, Christmas is very much related to the food and fairy tales. Czech Republic, we are very special with our own cinematography. We live in this very magical world of a little bit of paganism, a little bit of a fairyland, lots of kings and princesses, and looking at a little bit of differences between, the rich and the poor and historical. And that is our time for Christmas is you drink warm wine, hot chocolate, you sit and you watch fairy tales. Not those cheesy Netflix rom-coms, but very traditional classical. There's always the fight between the good and the evil, and there are always some mystical creatures from obviously the devil or anything like that. So for us, it's gonna be a simple thing. We're gonna make a nice dinner. I don't think we're even baking any Christmas cookies because Czech Republic also is very obsessed with baking your own Christmas cookies. Families will go all out having 10, 15, 20 different kinds. And the recipes are varied, but the core ingredients are always shit ton of white sugar, white flour, lots of fat, occasionally some nuts. And then you put it in all sorts of shapes. And yeah, it's very, very sugary, very sweet. So we're not doing that. We're probably gonna have some apples and some fruit and some nuts. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. It's not gonna be a magical Christmas vibe. It's just gonna be a couple days of chill TV watching, watching the cats fight, and hanging out with mom. Maybe going for a walk. Unfortunately, we're not gonna have white Christmas because the global warming is really messing up with the weather. So right now it's about 5 degrees outside and it's gray and rain and soggy. So we're still gonna go out for a soggy walk. But it would be nice. Maybe I will look if there's snow in the mountains. Maybe I will take a mom for a day out in the mountains if there's a chance of inversion of a sunshine somewhere up in the mountains because we're close enough. So this is the plan.
And I come spend Christmas with you. It sounds very, very chilled and really what my husband and I have done for the past 25 years because we had Christmas on our own. This year, it's very stressful. It's extremely stressful. And it doesn't need to be so stressful, but it's stressful because as I mentioned earlier, my mother is this is all about the season to be inward and understand what Christmas is all about and the birth of Christ, and it's very heavy. That's what I call it. It's heavy, and just the way my mother is. So, as I said, my mother likes to celebrate on the 24th. So I said to her, "Well, you do your thing on the 24th. We will fit in and slot in, and then on the 25th, Ian and I will have a barbecue because that's what you do in South Africa. It's about a meal. Whereas when we were in the UK, it was a nice roast, and you have a nice meal. But here it's a bit warm to roast, so you have a barbecue." And then my mother said, "No, you just go away for the 24th. Just go away and then do your own thing on the 25th." It's like, okay, fine, no problems. I'll make a plan and go away. And then she said, no, she changes her mind, and then it's go away, then it's change her mind. So it's like, okay, what are we doing? Then I said to her, okay, Ian and I are just gonna deal with our own on the 25th. We're going to go to the braai area or barbecue area, and we're just doing our own thing. And then she says, okay, good, you go do your own thing. It's like, fine. Then she came back and said, can anybody join? I'm like, well, we can make it like what here in South Africa called bring and braai. You bring your own meat and drink and you just join. I said, yeah, that's not a problem. We'll just do a bring and braai then. It's relaxed and chilled. Yeah, that has, yeah, okay. You would think it'd be nice and chilled. So I'm coming to you for Christmas, Lenka, because this is really stressful. The thing is, it doesn't need to be stressful. If you communicate and you say, what you would like, and then you can stick to it. I wonder sometimes how I fit in with my family because I am so different to my family. And I very much agree is you make a plan and then stick to it, especially if there's other people involved, because then they know whether they're coming or going. But this changes on a daily basis, all depends on her mood. So basically, Ian and I have plan A, B, C, and D ready. So we'll wake up on the 24th and know which plan are we implementing today. But one thing I am telling you, Ian and I are having a barbecue or a braai, as it's said in South Africa, on Christmas Day, even if it's just the two of us or anybody else my mother feels that she wants to invite. And I don't have a problem with that. I really don't have a problem with that. I'm quite happy to just be just me and my husband or others, because I do know these people my mother are inviting. And so it will be nice. Just don't need to have that pressure on. You don't need to make it such a big thing. And this is what I'm trying to get to my mother is let's just have good food, good company, and she can do her own thing. We're not stopping her. We're actually physically leaving the house to go and barbecue. So she can do her own thing. We're happy to give her the space. But then it's very much, yes, but you need to, and this is where the pressure comes in when you start to demand of people to do something that you want them to do. And this has caused a little bit of friction in in the household. But we're working through it. One thing that I am doing to UK tradition or European tradition, and I think it might even be American, is a Christmas cake. I'm making a Christmas cake. It's going to be a non-alcoholic one because my mother doesn't touch alcohol. So I'm not making alcoholic one, but I'm making Christmas cake. And I said to my mother, I'll make a Christmas cake because it's nice, it's fun, it's a lovely fruit cake. Most people like fruit cake, and if they don't like it, they don't have to have it. And the response was, "Puh." So I was like, okay, lovely encouragement. But I'm making one anyway. And the thing is, it's nice is if we get a lot of people coming to the barbecue, they can have some of the cake. It's very much an English tradition to have the Christmas cake. So that is our sort of nod to Christmas tradition. And my husband likes a good fruit cake, so why not? I like to bake. I like to make things. So it's something that I can do just to chill out and enjoy. So yes, it's Christmas can be really stressful, and it doesn't matter how much you plan it. It can be stressful when people have expectations that are not necessarily something that fits with you. And this is what I'm finding that I'm dealing with. It's not the expectation to have the perfect Christmas in a way, but it's the demand to have a sort of, I don't like to use the word religious, but more a Christian type Christmas. But that's not something that I want to do or necessarily believe in. It's not that I'm an atheist or anything, but I find the Christmas Christian tradition a, a bit not my cup of tea. And how do you bring in somebody who's very really into Christmas and really looks at it and the 12 nights and really goes into it to somebody who's, well, yeah. And this is where the friction comes in, and communication is important. And I like to say that normally when there's communication, things can get resolved. No, not in this family. It's communication is not working, but therefore it's coming up with different scenarios and different plans so that when um, my mother demands plan A, I know then what to do. When it's plan B, I know then what to do. So it's just trying to have strategies to deal with difficult members of the family who want things a certain way and are not finding the middle ground. Because like I said, I'm quite happy to either go away on the 24th or be there and give my mother the space to do what she needs to do. And if she needs me part of it, I'm quite happy to be part of it. It's not that I'm anti it, it's just, what do you want from me? Because I don't see it the same way you do. So help me to help you to do it in a way that there's not a huge blowout, there's not huge arguments and slamming of doors and screaming and shouting, because, yeah, that's how my family fights. And, how can we make it as less stressful as possible? So, this is my challenge for this year. And I'm looking forward to next year when we've got our own place to just be the two of us again and doing it however we want to do it. But I appreciate some of our listeners will really be in this situation, having different members of family expecting or demanding certain ways things to be done, whether it's that pressure to invite everybody and have that perfect meal and everybody's happy and all the gifts are great, or is it that some are very religious and some aren't religious? How do you find that balance? How do you get that in?
And I think it's a big question around Christmas, this expectation. This really putting on expectation on ourselves, putting expectation on our loved ones, really demanding that it's going to be perfect, that it's going to be perfect according to me. And I think for me, the reminder to myself and to everyone else always is to, in the core, to me, Christmas is about people. It's about families getting together. And it really doesn't matter in what format and what food and what decoration, how clean your house is going to be. And I know that people have preferences and opinions, but I would love to encourage our listeners, if they can, to just take a deep breath and realize that, it doesn't matter if your house is super clean and if you have the right decorations and if you have the most, expensive, beautifully packed gift that will make people so happy. I think it's the presence of one another and spending time with each other that is for me the essence of Christmas, and that's what I am looking forward to. And I know I'm going to get with mom, and I'm wishing that for you and your family, and wishing that to all of our listeners to be able to just relax a little bit and lean into the beauty of the human connection that we can. It doesn't have to be family. If for whatever reason Christmas is not about family with you. It can be your friends, it could be your chosen family, it could be a pet, it could be just yourself. Last year I spent Christmas by myself with my van and with my cat, and it was beautiful. But it's about the intentionality of that day. It's about the really celebrating, the connections that we have to ourselves, to each other, in very loving, it's a loving kindness, it's a gentle experience for me, and I'm wishing that to all our listeners.
And I want to wish you all a very good festive season. And as one of our guests said, remember to sometimes say no, put those boundaries in, take a deep breath, and be who you are. You don't have to do everything that everybody's wanting, demanding, or expecting. Remember what you want from yourself and how you want to do it, and try and find that balance. So have a great festive season, and I hope you have a really nice meal and enjoy it. And we will see you in the new year.
Bye.